Hi kitties, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you guys are here with me. Today we are going to be doing this crazy look that you see here on my face today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Now let's jump right into the video.
Hello, hello again. If I could take you up in paradise.
Okay, we're gonna start off by priming our face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. We're just gonna spray this all over our face. So I actually decided to do foundation on my forehead first, just because it's a little harder to apply foundation once the eyebrows are done. It kind of messes up the eyebrows and gets them a little messier. So I'm gonna do foundation on my forehead using the Milani Conceal and Perfect and a little bit of the NYX Total Control drops. Next, I'm going in with the Lorac eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to be putting this all over the eyes. Since typically I would use my concealer, but since we aren't doing any foundation on the face just yet, I am applying this primer, which does a pretty good job of canceling out the color on my eyelid. Make sure to put a little bit of that underneath, because we are going to be applying some shadow under the eye as well. Next, we're going to be going in with the NYX Ultimate Palette, using this teal shade right here. Just getting a little bit of that on my R37 brush, tapping up the excess because we don't want to go in with too heavy of a hand. And we're just going to be blending that mostly out on the outer corner. Bringing that a little bit into the crease, but not too much. We don't want to bring it all the way because we're going to use some other colors on the inside of the eye. Really trying to build up that color as much as possible. Now going with a very dirty M433, I'm going to go in with a little bit darker of the blue in that same palette, and I'm just going to stamp that kind of in the outer corner just to darken that up a little bit. And I thought it'd be fun to put a little pop of color, not that we're not using color, but a pop of different color, since this whole look is primarily going to be turquoise and teal. A different pop of color on the inside of the eye. So using this brush from the Naked palette, that came in the Naked palette, I'm gonna go in with this kind of peachy color right here, and I'm gonna mix it a little bit with this kind of reddish pink color. And I'm gonna put that on the innermost part of the eye. I've got an itch. Oh. Going in with the other side of that brush that we just used from the Naked palette, I'm going to take a little bit of concealer and place that in the very center of the lid. Just kind of like a little spotlight cut crease. Next, going into the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, we're going to be using Queen, which is this color right here, with a really flattened brush. And we're just going to be placing this all over the lid. Making sure to blend out all those edges so we don't have a harsh line from turquoise to gold to red. Hi, come here. Come here, say hello. Say hello. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Say hello. Okay, going in with that same M433 brush that we just used on the outer corner, we're going to take a little bit of Jade in the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is this color right here, and we're going to be placing that above the red on the inner corner. Taking a little bit of this really light turquoise color, we are just going to be placing that in the same spot, but we're going to go a little bit heavier of a hand with that color, and we're going to bring it in to the inside corner. Now I am taking this e.l.f. eye crease brush and I'm taking this, a mixture of this lighter teal and this really light turquoise, and mix those together, and I'm going to put them on the inside under eye corner right about here. So far this is not turning out how I hoped it would be, but it's okay, we'll make it work. Either that or we'll just look like a clown by the end of this. We shall see. Using that same eye crease brush by e.l.f., we're going to take some of that first color that we used on the outer corner of the eye, and we're going to be bringing that down to the lower lash line. And we're going to leave a tiny little gap in the center because that's where we're going to put the gold to connect the top and bottom. So we're not going to connect the two colors on both sides, but we are going to connect this outer corner. So next I'm going to be going in with Queen again from the Jaclyn Hill palette, using that same flat brush. That's not the brush we used, this is the brush we used. And I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that and I'm going to place it in that bottom little gap that we left open for the gold. So I made a grave mistake, and we're gonna have to wipe off this entire lower lash line of makeup because I was supposed to do that after I put on my base foundation. So, adios amigo. So now we're gonna do the foundation, and then we will repeat the lower lash line. Again, going with the Milani Conceal and Perfect and a little bit of that Total Control foundation. We will clean up this face. Now I'm going to set my eye using the Laura Mercier Invisible Loose Setting Powder. If I can get it open without exploding everywhere. So I accidentally punched myself in the nose because I was trying to be Rocky, and my nose stud jabbed a hole in the cartilage of my nose on the inside, and now my nose is bleeding profusely. So stand by. Okay, now that we have our base done, we're going to redo that under eye and hopefully make it look better than it was before. Okay, now for the extra fun part, we are going to be taking some glitter glue by Too Faced. We're going to be applying that on all of the gold areas. Okay, grabbing a little bit of that on this smudge brush by e.l.f. I'm just going to place that directly on the gold, being sure to pat and not swipe. And now going in with the Too Faced glitter in Tinsel. It's just a gold loose glitter. I'm going to take a little bit of that and place that directly on top of the glue we just placed down. This gold glitter has a lot of green undertones, which makes it really perfect for this look because of the turquoise and the teal. Now we are going to repeat those steps on the bottom lash line. Now I'm just going to take some black gel liner. This is the MAC Black Track Gel Liner, and I'm going to be using the Morphe M250-O, which is this tiny, tiny little brush. And I'm just going to be lining the top lash. I'm not going to be making a wing or anything. I'm just going to be lining the top lash. That way when we put our lashes on, you can't see any skin or any eyeshadow in between our real lashes and our false lashes. So this outer corner is not as dark as I would like it to be, so I'm actually taking a little bit of this black shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette called Abyss. Very, very, very small amount, and I'm just buffing that into the outer corner just to deepen that and make it a little bit darker. It was just looking a little bit too similar to the inner corner, and I really want them to be completely different colors. So I'm just getting a little bit of that and really blending it gently and very carefully so as to not make a mess with what we've done already. Okay, I thought it'd be fun to put a little bit of this silver glitter on the inner corner of my eye, just to give it a little pop since we are doing a lot of glitter on our face. This is by Lit Cosmetics. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of that same glitter glue that we used earlier on that same brush on the other side, because we had a little bit of gold on that. And I'm just gonna pop that on the inner corner of the eye. And then picking up the glue with that AOA Studio E124. It's just a really tiny precision brush. I'm just gonna pick up what's in the lid because I don't wanna make a mess. I'm just gonna dab that right on the inner corner. So to incorporate the eyes with the lips, instead of using a liquid lip, we are going to be using some of the same shadows. We're going to be creating a similar look on the eyes, a similar look on the lips as we did on the eyes. So starting off with that, I already put foundation on my lips. I did that a while ago. So we're gonna go in with that first teal color, and we're gonna place that all over the lips. Now I do want the center of the bottom lip to be a little bit darker, just kind of how we did the outer corner of the eye. I'm gonna incorporate a little bit of black and mixing that with the first teal color that we used. Now that we look extremely terrifying, we are going to be putting a little bit of that glitter glue on our lip. I'm gonna put that on the very center of the lip just to give the illusion of a highlight, but instead of highlight, we're gonna be putting glitter. Okay, now that our eyes and our lips are done, we're going to finish up the face. Starting off, we're going to be using the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. Okay, next we're going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Captivating. And we're going to be placing this all over the cheekbones, making this really rosy. I'm going to put more blush than normal just because I want that kind of peachy pink to stand out amongst all this blue. Now I am going to be placing a little bit of this blush directly on the tip of my nose just to give that a little bit of pinkness, kind of make you look like you have a runny nose or you just went for a run. Now I want extreme glow, extreme highlight on basically the entire face. So I'm going to be mixing the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop with this Wet n Wild highlight powder in Precious Petals. And I'm gonna be basically placing a very generous amount of that all over my face. I'm gonna be honest, this isn't as blinding as I want it to be. So I'm actually going to take a mixture of all three, the Champagne Pop, Precious Petals, and this Beam, which is this one right here, in the Jaclyn Hill palette. Whew. Yes, please. Like I said, I want my face really saturated in this highlight, so I'm going to be placing this on all of the high points of my face. So I'm going to be using all three of those highlight shades and be placing them on my chin and my brow bones, which I kind of already did. And then I'm placing a little bit of that on the tip of my nose. Okay, now before we put lashes on, we are going to add some freckles. So using the NYX Vivid Brights liquid liner in the shade Vivid Sapphire, we are going to be speckling on some little freckles. And then I am going over it with a beauty sponge just to kind of, I mean, no one has blue freckles, but just to make them look a little more natural, even though there's nothing natural about this makeup look. And last but not least, I'm gonna go put on some lashes and I'll be right back. That is it for this look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me do this. I had a really hard time doing this. This is kind of a challenge for me. And I'm gonna be really real with you guys. I kind of stopped halfway through and I kind of just was really discouraged and kind of threw all my stuff on the table and was just like, this is looking terrible. Like, I don't like the way this is turning out. It wasn't turning out the way I had planned it and seen it in my head. And I was just like, you know what, screw it. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna do this, like it's not gonna turn out good anyways, so why even do it? I'll just film another time in the week and post something else that's simpler and not as complicated, and we'll go from there. But I'm actually really glad that I stuck with it. It actually is not bad. I actually really like it. It's a really fun look, and I'm really glad I stuck with it, and I'm really glad that I kind of pushed myself to just get through it even though it was hard, or get through it even though I didn't like the way it looked and maybe I could have salvaged it, and I ended up actually doing that. So I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So with that being said, please subscribe to my channel. Press the little subscribe button you see in the corner. Well, actually this isn't the button. You're gonna have to find it somewhere underneath the video, but this is what it looks like in case you're new to YouTube. Yeah, so subscribe to my video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, kitties. Mwah.